Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, last time we talked about the governance in undivided India. Actually, we focus on pinching the British policies, their reforms, their form of government, and their total hold on British India. So now the present India country as a country, and we Pakistan as a country, there is a huge difference because in recent past, okay, if we talking about the recent past, we should analyze the last 75 years, which through both the countries proceeded their policies, proceeded their different kind of government system. Unfortunately, Pakistan faced most of miseries, most of hurdles, most of terrible government shapes, most of experiments which are utmost associated with military rules. But now, when we see the British policies and governance system in that in this part of the world, the most successful countries in the world history, those countries channelize their system, their institutions, their will of people according to the specific laws, and the filter point is that rule of law. They prevail the rule of law, and in this spirit, their countries mostly face the prosperity and reasonable life standard of the people. In this context, we see a major difference between the politics and the government. Mostly student I noticed, they don't aware about the proper difference between the politics and government. Actually, government is a normal setup. How is it normal setup? Because in ancient time we see the kingdoms, the kingships exercise their government setup in the form of king, and there were no proper proceeding of laws, shape of constitution, and no type of institution in their territories, in their kingship. The old time we see king play the role of every kind of institution. The court of the king played the role of parliament, played the role of judgment, played the role of execution, everything. So, in this context, the will of the any king was to be declared the utmost and the utter decision in the territory. If king become very joyful, he released the prisoners, he granted the many type of gifts, prizes, and pleasure to the people. When king become angry, he suddenly ordered and crushed the people. But with the passage of time, when the main history becomes so developed, so civilized, then they stood some sort of actions according to the laws. They framed the laws, they framed the constitution, they developed nations, institutionalized the system in case of parliament and other sort of state segments. So the bottom line is that according to the nature laws, according to the human laws, according to the public will, the proper judgment, these sort of requirements uphold the countries, uphold the prosperity, uphold the many things, many difficulties become reduced to follow the laws. So, in development sense, we see if the nation, if the country, if the society pursue the laws, then they become prosperous. Simple, very simple. So, Britishers uh, played their role very well in the governance. Now, politics. Politics doesn't mean the election, the portfolio of president, the prime minister, the ministers, MNAs, MPAs, senators. Not. Politics is a proper procedure, the, the proper responsibility to serve the people. Merely we can say politics possess the powers, but these powers actually drive the people. Politics is a proceeding of people welfare from bottom to top, from grassroots level to uphold level. Government is then just name to drive the country in many patterns. Government means to consolidate the orders. Politics is a procedure, a systematic way how a country runs, how a country become move to forward. Anyhow, these two things are very important: government and politics. And these two words, these two um, terminologies, in case of political science study, many difference. Government is just the name, the level of proceeding orders, consolidate the orders, while politics is the systematic procedure from bottom to top. Okay, Britishers enjoyed their powers little bit in many ways, very significantly. They strengthened the institutions, and mostly Indians population, majority population, uh, did not aware about their rights, because that the time of ruling in sense of British government, people mostly unaware about their right, because the education system, the literacy, the schooling, these sort of needs were not in proper numbers, not in proper position, not in proper way. I saying in this case, mostly developed big cities, they the Britishers consolidated the um, British schooling system, the government schools, etc. Muslim population enjoyed and practiced their education and literacy sense through madrasas and Quran or Hadith, this type of premium knowledge they aware themselves. But 90% Indians not aware about the proper education. Merely most of the upper class people, upper class population experience their self according to their sources. They entered the considerable schooling level, the college level, etc. But most of the people didn't possess the proper livelihood, didn't possess the proper way of life, the facilities, etc. The theme of my topic actually was attached to the British system in this part of the world. Unfortunately, we Pakistani, our government system did not play the well role according to the country development, and along this like Indian government and the Indian establishment played the hostile attitude with Pakistan, and we suffered mostly in the past, the fall of Dhaka, the Kashmir issue, and human right violation in Kashmir. We mostly suffered, and along this, the terror attacks, the terrorism, the border terrorism through India, and even Afghanistan side, we suffered many hurdles, we suffered many miseries, etc. So, all these sort of failures, these failures pushed back to our country, our nation, our even our society. But now the time we can manage our policies, our government system, because after the arrival of social media, most of the Pakistanis, especially youths, are so aware about their rights, about their government system, about the government policies, and our social system. Okay, student, thank you very much. Please like my this video, subscribe this channel, and proceed this video to other students and friends. Good luck.